Well, welcome everybody. I'm really honored that you've stopped by to view my video today. I'm Barry, the host of this channel of RVs and e-bikes. And this is Ginger. Now, Ginger usually gets involved in my videos, so here she is once again. You know, it's pretty amazing. I sit down to do a video and she's got to be right up here. But anyhow, today's topic may be a bit controversial, and I want to start with the question, do you need a license to operate your e-bike? In other words, do you need an endorsement on your driver's license for an e-bike? You know, much the same as you would for a motorcycle. Generally, here the answer is no. And for those of you who live in California, well, just wait. I'm going to talk about what California is up to a little bit later. First of all, to understand e-bike laws, rules, and licensing requirements, we need to define the three classifications of e-bikes. And this information is from the Model Electric Bicycle Law proposed by the organization People of Bikes. Now, generally, an e-bike is a bike equipped with a motor of 750 watts or less. And above this limit, your bike is classified as a moped. And also, note that all of the classifications here mention pedaling. Therefore, your e-bike must be equipped with pedals. Otherwise, you know, here again, you're a moped. Now, there are three classes of e-bikes. Class 1 are e-bikes that only provide assistance to the rider when the rider is pedaling. The assistance stops when the rider reaches 20 miles per hour. Class 2 e-bikes are limited to 20 miles per hour as propelled by the motor, and the motor assistance cuts off at 20 miles per hour. Class 3 e-bike motors only provide assistance when the rider is pedaling, and that assistance stops when the e-bike reaches 28 miles per hour. Now, I want to point out a nuance here, and that has to do with a throttle, typically located on the right handlebar of your e-bike. And note here that a Class 2 e-bike definition uses the word propelled and does not mention pedaling. Therefore, if your e-bike has a hand throttle, a motor of less than 750 watts, and a governor that limits your e-bike motor's ability to assist you when you're traveling more than 20 miles per hour, then you have a Class 2 e-bike. There are 41 states that have adopted this model ordinance. Some states have modified these definitions for clarity. For instance, California's definition of a Class 2 e-bike adds the words low-speed throttle-assisted electric bicycle. And Michigan's definition adds the requirement that the motor disengages when the brakes are applied. Now, you should check your state's vehicle code for any changes in these definitions. Now that we have the definitions out of the way, let's get into licensing requirements. The model statute Section 201 specifically states that an electric bicycle is not subject to the provisions of the vehicle code relating to insurance, registration, certificates of title, off-road vehicles, and license plates. The model code further states that an electric bicycle is not a motor vehicle. However, Section 202 states that an electric bicycle is subject to all of the duties of a bicycle or the operator of a bicycle. This means that you are subject to most of the provisions of the vehicle code, such as stopping for stop signs, traffic lights, lane usage, and on and on. Michigan limits the operation of a Class 3 e-bike to people who are 14 years of age or older, and you will probably find something similar in your state. Now, it's also important to note here that at least 6 states, Alabama, Alaska, Massachusetts, Missouri, New Mexico, and North Dakota have not revised their laws as of 2021. So an e-bike is treated in these states the same as a motor vehicle, which means that you have to have a driver's license to operate an e-bike. Plus your e-bike, since it is considered the motor vehicle, your bike may not be allowed on the recreational trails. All right, let's move on to what California is up to. The California legislature has proposed in their bill AB 350 to require operators of e-bikes to have a license. This license will likely be an endorsement on your driver's license, or if you don't have a driver's license, the state will issue you a photo ID with the endorsement. Now, to obtain the bicycle endorsement, you're going to need to complete a training course and a written test. And of course, as always, you're going to have to pay a fee for all of this. This legislation applies to all classes of e-bikes, including stricter requirements for Class 3 e-bikes. Also, the law will prohibit anyone less than 12 years of age from riding an e-bike. Also, anyone riding a Class 3 e-bike must wear an approved helmet. Now, why is California doing this? Well, they are citing safety concerns over the operation of e-bikes. And I have to ask you, is that a real concern? Well, in a 2021 study by the National Institute of Health, where e-bike accident injuries were compared to injuries suffered by motorcycle crash victims and regular bicycle crash victims, and all of these injuries were treated at a level 1 trauma center, what the study found was that e-bike injuries were more like bicycle injuries than they were motorcycle injuries. And the study also indicated that e-bike riders were more likely to suffer pelvic injuries than regular bicycle riders. However, bicycle riders suffered upper extremity injuries more often than e-bike riders. Now, the study speculated that older, untrained people are slower to react and have less control over their e-bikes. However, this conclusion is not at all really supported by the study. You take a look at the study, and first of all, the sample size of e-bike riders in this study was 67. Whereas the sample size of bicycles involved in accidents was 1,141. So the number of bicycle accidents were 17 times larger. Now, considering this disparity, I'm not sure what this study can really tell us about e-bike riders and accidents. And however, California may be using this study as one of the bases for their law, because the study recommended training courses for e-bike riders, and those training courses are similar to those required of motorcycle riders. Other studies confirm that the number of accidents involving e-bikes, those number of accidents has exploded. And really, this should not be a surprise, because the sale and use of e-bikes has also exploded. Now, I don't believe the increase in accidents necessarily justifies training courses and licensing requirements for e-bikes. To use a metaphor here, if the number of people using a bathtub versus a shower suddenly increase, and there was a corresponding increase in bathtub-related falls and injuries, should the state require bathtub training? Well, I'm being a bit silly here, but just to make a point. One thing I do agree with, though, is limiting the age of e-bike riders. A youngster will not necessarily understand the rules of the road, and they're prone to taking chances, more risks. And a youngster with a 750-watt motor, with a vehicle that has rapid acceleration, may take chances with this powered vehicle that they may not take with a regular bicycle. You may not agree with this conclusion, my conclusion about e-bike training and licensing. And this is where it's controversial, and I think, it's perfectly fine if you don't agree. And I would invite you to post your comments below. I always love to see your comments, whether you agree or disagree. And if you found this video informative, then please hit the like button and subscribe to the video. Your subscribing and liking the video helps this channel more than you know. Well, I want to thank you for staying with me to the end, and I hope your e-bike adventures are all enjoyable. And stay safe, and we'll be back with you soon. Bye for now, and if I can get Ginger up here, she likes to hang upside down, but if I can get her up and moving, maybe she'll say goodbye too. Anyhow, hey, take care everybody. Bye-bye.